How do you increase engagement, make followers take notice, and provide context on social media? Stay tuned and find out.
Being an entrepreneur sounds like, yes, another new client. I did it. But it can also sound like, I am really not understanding this technology, and I'm feeling so overwhelmed. Am I even cut out for this? That's why I started the Dark Horse Entrepreneur Podcast, to help infopreneurs, coaches, and course creators who want to build a business online but are battling technology, overwhelm, procrastination, and even imposter syndrome. Think successfully, think differently, think bigger, and take action by learning tips from an array of business owners, all dropping knowledge on the Dark Horse Entrepreneur Podcast. Check us out at www.darkhorseschooling.com.
What is up? What is up? What the hell is up, my Dark Horse friends and family? Welcome back to another dose of caption writing learning. I'm your Dark Horse host, Tracy Brinkman. And as many of you know, I've been in the coaching, course creation, online space since way back in the 90s. So yeah, got a little experience under my belt, and yet here I am still learning. And that's why I'm here, because I want to share with you what I have learned and what I am still learning about course creation, coaching, entrepreneur, infopreneurship. And so that begs me the question, well, who are you? And to me, that's infinitely more important. You are a driven entrepreneur, more specifically an infopreneur with or seeking a coaching or online course model to enhance your business, or maybe you're just hoping to have that very, very soon. Either way, I believe you're here because you're ready to start, restart, kickstart, just start leveling up with some great marketing, personal, or business tips and results. Very important to get those results in order to build that beautiful business of yours into the empire it absolutely deserves to be. So that's why I'm here hitting you with it. Another solo success episode coming to you straight from the Dark Horse HQ as we dive deep into your infopreneur and course creation success with some actionable advice, tips, and steps designed to help you level up your game. Why? Because as we already know, there are no shortcuts to success except for taking those little steps towards your goal every single damn day. Wow. Captions, captions, captions. Social media is the thing that seems to be on everybody's tongue. And one of the things I've noticed about social media is, let's talk about Instagram, right? The only thing worse than no Instagram caption, or no caption on any of the platforms, the only thing worse are the ones that are just downright terrible. And let me clue you in. The majority of Instagram captions are not pretty. You don't believe me? Pause this episode right now. Go ahead, pause it, and go check out your feed for yourself. Go look at your IG feed. Yeah, a lot of those are pretty awful. Now, an Instagram caption is the perfect place to get noticed, to spark a conversation, to add some context, to set the scene, to create a mood, or clue your followers into the message that you are trying to deliver. Yeah. With one single caption, you can make someone laugh, you can make them cry, or maybe even make them buy your product. What? Yeah. Writing a captivating Instagram caption is an art form. I know, it's an art form all unto itself, and it's an art form that can be used across all the platforms. So getting this right is the difference between, right, being ignored. You heard it, here it comes. Yeah, being ignored, or racking up lots and lots of likes and audience and praise and applause. We can quiet that guy down now. All right. But here's the thing. Writing a great caption, yeah, it's challenging. You got to be a little clever. Got to be a little interesting. Maybe a little funny, right? And you certainly got to whip out a bit of surprise. In fact, writing a caption can sometimes seem like as much work as writing a great headline because, well, let's be honest, that's exactly what you're doing. Now, I can hear many of you now, right? I can literally hear you in my headphones. Tracy, why are Instagram captions so damn important? Well, I'll tell you. I'm glad you asked. Captions increase engagement. Yeah, they do, right? Because a good caption is going to make someone, oh, wait a minute, what's this all about? They make followers take notice and maybe even laugh, a little chuckle, a little giggle, a little chortle, maybe even a roll on the floor laughing my ass off. All right? They provide context to the imagery that you're showing, your photos, your snaps, whatever it might be. They communicate a message, a story, or even a joke, right? They can make a mediocre photo great. They can help you stand out from the crowd. They can help you build connections with their audience. And certainly, and most importantly, on this podcast, they can help you promote your brand, your business, your product, your course, your service, whatever it is you're trying to get them to buy. So today I want to hit you with some tips for writing captions. And we'll focus on Instagram, but certainly these are tips that will be useful across all the platforms. And I promise you that with a little practice, just a little, writing a great Instagram caption is going to become second nature to you. Now think about it. How many times do you post on Instagram? If you use these tips, right, consciously just, okay, Tracy said do this, do that. Try one or two of them, right? And as often as you post, if you practice it, again, I'll say it becomes second nature. Now, the first tip, I won't say it's the most important, but certainly one of the important ones. Maybe it's about as important as the last one I'm going to give you. Yeah, I opened that loop. I want to make sure you hang around and listen to the whole episode. The first tip I want to give you is if you listen to nothing else, except for this one and the last one, you want to write a killer first line. Making that first part of your Instagram caption super engaging will capture eyeballs. Yeah, swoop them right in there. Keep them on your post longer. It's going to pique your followers' interest with curiosity, with some stats, with an exclusive offer, or some kind of benefit by clicking on your post, right? That first line needs to be awesome. Make that the killer first line. That's when you want to spend your time thinking about. Don't start off, 30 years ago today, No, hit them with that power punch. You could say, I lost my brother. Oh, wait a minute, what? Now I'm to what? You lost your brother, right? You instantly hooked me just right there. Well, that popped into my head because yesterday was the 8th anniversary of me losing my brother. So I lost my brother, right? So you just you hit them right out of that. Something that's going to pique your followers' interest with curiosity, stats, or an exclusive offer. Something that's going to make them click on that post. All right. Number 2, and this almost echoes that one, use your best stuff first. Start with the most compelling content, right? Longer posts, they get truncated on all the platforms, right? So as someone's scrolling, they can't see your awesome story. I can't tell you the whole story of how I met my brother, and he was my brother from another mother. How I met him, how we linked, we got separated, we got back together, and it was like we were never right. I could tell that whole story, but I've got to hit you with the best stuff first for you even to want to read the rest of the story. So use your best stuff first. Number 3, you want to include a call to action in your caption. One call to action, not 13 of them, not 5, not 2, 1. Invite your audience to comment or like the post to drive more engagement. Inspire your followers to visit your site, sign up for your newsletter, or shop online. Again, you don't want to do all of them. You only want to do one call to action. So if you post multiple times, maybe every time you post in the morning, you tell them to like or comment your post. That helps build the engagement for the day. On your second post of the day, but then you inspire them to go visit your website. And on your third post of the day, maybe you ask them to sign up for your newsletter. Right? You follow what I'm saying? Each time you're inviting them to do one thing. The next one, I want you to use hashtags to boost discoverability. I know, everyone knows about hashtags, but how many times have you put a post out there and not done anything with it, not put the hashtag that's relevant? Instagram, for example, will show your post to viewers who are searching for the hashtag. However, don't go crazy here, right? 1 to 5 hashtags tend to drive more interactions overall from the studies I've read. Use hashtags that are community and interest-based as opposed to generic hashtags like hashtag food. No, do hashtag home chef or hashtag cooking with strawberries. I don't know. I'm just picking things out of random. So you want to use the specific hashtags that really speak to the content that you're sharing, right? Hashtag lost a loved one for the story I'm running through this whole thing. All right, next one. Ask. Right? Ask a question. Double tap if you agree. Or ask a personal question. And the reason for this is what that's doing is that's encouraging comments in your post. And those comments, right? Instagram sees, oh, wow, he's getting some comments here. Let me show it to more folks and get more comments. You have to remember, no matter what platform you're on, the goal of the platform is to keep you on the platform. They don't give a rat's bahootie about your content, right? They care if the users that are seeing your content are hanging around. And if you're generating comments and likes and shares, they're hanging around. So ask. So tell them, hey, double tap if you agree. And if they double tap, that gets you a like, right? Or if you ask that question, say, hey, answer me down in the comments. Tell me your opinion, right? Get them to comment and answer your questions. Next one, go short or go long. Now, globally, captions with 1 to 20 characters or captions over 2,000 characters, that's a big difference, right? 1 to 20 or 2,000. Those are the ones that get the most engagement. But if you think about our English-speaking places like UK and Ireland and North America, shorter captions do better. So depending on where you're at on this big, wide, blue spinning globe, there's a little go short or go long. And then break it up. All right? When you're doing those captions that are a little longer, use line breaks on those longer captions to make it easier to digest. You see those long run-on paragraphs. For me, that almost scares me. It's like, oh my God, it's going to take me forever to read this. Where if you break it up with line breaks, well, then my eyes can absorb it. Actually, I can read it faster that way because my eyes are jumping ahead doing that whole speed reading thing. You're really reading the whole line rather than just, a couple of words, right? So break it up, make it easier to digest. The next one, use a consistent brand voice. And I learned this one in my marketing days and some of the good companies of the United States, Coca-Cola and Victoria's Secret and David's Bridal and Legendary Whitetails. Keep your brand voice consistent and on brand. Captions should ideally mirror your brand's personality, not yours. The personality of your brand. Now, if you are the brand, obviously, then they want it to sound like you. And when you do that, it feels like the rest of your marketing. They're getting this consistent message. And when you don't echo the consistency of your brand, you actually lose more followers. They're like, well, what's this all about? Where did this come? This came out of the blue. You're right. So if you're a brand that is pro whatever the topic is, you speak on that. All of a sudden, you put out a post that's anti that same topic. Yeah. Whoa, you want to speak with a consistent brand voice. All right. Now, here's one, this next one here. A lot of folks do. I've seen a lot of folks not doing it. But you want to include those eye-catching emojis. Yeah? Add personality to your captions with emojis at the beginning to catch eyeballs. And it also makes it more inviting. But you use less than 5 emojis in your captions. I like to use them to identify specific words. Like if I say podcast, I use the microphone there, or this is fire, put the, little flame emoji there. Just something as they're reading it, they can almost skip over the word because the image gives them the word anyway. The brain says, oh, it's fire. I don't need to read that word. I'll just go right on past it. It actually speeds up their reading for them. Write captions in bunches, right? It's easier to write captions if you sit down and write a whole bunch of them at once. So if you do this as part of your promoting your course or content or your business, right? Sit down and go through all your posts and then write them all together. It helps with that brand voice. It'd be like me doing this particular podcast episode, going, oh gosh, God, I need to stop and eat for lunch. And right in the middle of this episode, I'm going to hit pause right now. And then I'm going to go get lunch. And then I'm going to come back. It's still going to be me, and I'm still going to be talking on the same topic, but I will sound a little different, right? Because there'll be that big disconnect between when I started it and the energy will be different. Plus, I will have just eaten and I will have slowed down a little bit. So rather than trying to think one up each time you post, have your posts all together. Sit down and spend the few minutes to write them all out at once, and then just schedule them. There you go. Make it a little easier. The next one here is a really good one. Storytell. Yeah, tell a story in your caption. Something that drives home the content itself. So if you're showing the picture of, a cutting board with a bunch of fruit on it, the 18 ways I cut myself during this cooking session. I don't know, right? But I'm just throwing things out at random here as I'm picturing them in my head. But you want to tell a story. You want to tell a story all the time, right? Just saying, hey, my brother died. I just started that story. I met him when I was 14 years old. We were friends like no other. If you have a friend like my brother, you're blessed. You get one of those in your entire lifetime. Right now, you're starting to feel like, oh wow, do I have that person in my life? Oh yeah, it's Bob or it's Jane or it's Joan. I'm sucking you in with that story, and it's just a picture of two guys standing there with their arms folded next to each other, right? All of a sudden, I've got your heart hook or whatever it is. So tell your story and drive home the content you're sharing. Disclose sponsored posts. No, okay, so this is an FTC regulation thing here. They're going to require you to be transparent with your sponsored posts. Be transparent. Look, here's the big thing, right? If you're being paid to promote a business, just tell folks. Don't try to hide it, or it might come back to bite you. And here's the other thing. I have no problem with you as a business person making money. Oh, and that's capitalism 101 right there. I'm a business person. I want to make some money. So why would I be against you making money? So if you tell me, hey, yeah, I'm going to tell you about this thing over here. It's called XYZ. And if you go and click on this link right here, I'm going to make a couple of bucks off of it. Okay, what's the big deal? It's not a problem. People understand that kind of thing, affiliate marketing. If I tell you about my course and you go buy it, do you think I'm making some money off that? Well, hell yeah. Of course I am. But if I tell you about my buddy's course and you go buy it, you think I'm not going to make money off that? Well, why wouldn't I? I'm in business. It's okay. Let's make a few dollars. And here's the other thing. If there's folks out there reading your feed and they're turned off by the fact that you're making a few dollars by them buying something that they want and they need that will improve them in some form or fashion, then perhaps they're not the audience that you really want to have in your feed anyway. Just a thought, okay? And last but not least in here, this is the other secret I wanted to tell you about. So many people don't do this one. Add captions to your stories. Adding captions to your IG stories, for your YouTube shorts, your Facebook stories, adding captions to your Instagram stories is effective at capturing the attention and conveying information, especially since a lot of people watch those stories without sound, right? So you want to put those captions down at the bottom. And let's take this one step further. We're not talking just about captioning the words that you're saying, but maybe those little iconic, pop-up captions that are like telling the story in bites. So creating great Instagram captions yeah, it might seem a little difficult at first, right? Oh, I got to spend a little time. I got to use my damn brain. I get it. But if you want to be successful on IG or any of the platforms, it's important for you to work on your captions, just as important as it is for you to work on your headlines, on your blog posts, on your sales pages, in your emails. And we talked about how those drive conversion rates. Does the same thing here on the platforms, right? And if you remember about the conversion rates, it's just in the last episode, 357, we talked about conversion rates. It's all because writing powerful captions can dramatically increase the results that your marketing, right, and your marketing message is going to get on Instagram and all the other social media platforms. All right, so get out there and put these tips into play so that your social media captions don't suck. Well, maybe they just suck in traffic. All right. Now, I know you want to keep getting all these amazing tips. I think they're amazing. Maybe they're not amazing. They're just kind of cool tips that you can use in driving more business. And if you think they're amazing tips, or maybe you just think they're, okay, that was pretty good, I'll try that one. Go on down there and hit that subscribe button, right? Go on down there and leave us a 5-star rating. Drop us some kind words in the reviews. Heck, actually go ahead and write a question down there in that review. I read every single one of those reviews, and I'll be sure to get it answered on an upcoming episode. And here's the thing about these subscribes, ratings, and reviews. Yes, you doing that, is good for the podcast, right? But here's the real reason it's good for the podcast, because it's your way of letting those podcast platforms out there know that you are getting value from an episode or from a particular show. It's those subscribes, ratings, reviews that tell those podcast platforms out there that you are getting that value, so that what they do is they turn around and give that podcast a lift up in the rankings so they can reach more driven entrepreneurs just like yourself. So please take a moment, show the love, and help spread the word. All right, you get out there, you run your race, and you get your results, and then come let me hear about them. I'm serious. Tracy@darkhorseschooling.com. Email me. Tell me the tip or idea that you came away with, how you put it into action, and what results you got from it. Heck, who knows? Probably even bring you on the show and let you share your story. Until next time, think successfully and take action. Thank you for listening to the Dark Horse Entrepreneur Podcast.
And you know this!
Thanks for tuning in.
Check us out at www.darkhorseschooling.com.
All right.
My name is Tracy Brinkman.